Training for an Ironman, as well as competing in one, can often feel like a very lonely experience. In training, all of those hours you've spent staring at the black line in the pool, or the trainer that you've not been able to get out of your basement yet because the weather is so bad, you're sick and tired of spending 3, 4, 5, 6 hours pedaling away, staring at a brick wall. So what can we do? Well, one thing is to try and find some gratefulness. And if there's one thing that your professor brain craves, is to find purpose and meaning in life. What's it all for? Those big existential questions. And so gratefulness and trying to keep a gratitude journal is a great tool against this. We now know the science of happiness and the science of gratefulness tells us you find your passion and you feel good not by looking for things under a stone, but by noticing. Gratefulness and gratitude is the skill of noticing. And so this ties into mindfulness training. How can I find things that I go about on a daily basis that I never really see much of anymore? The way I look, when I walk down the street, I never look at these things before. I never noticed that before on this same loop I'm doing on my bike or my run. So finding opportunities and writing them down, and we recommend you write down 3 things every day that you're grateful for, from tiny things like, I've got clean sheets tonight, and I love the thought of getting into clean sheets. It might be something silly that I ran into an old friend and we did the last 10 miles of the ride together and we caught up. You write those things down that you're grateful for each day and make sure that you review them on a regular basis. Staying grateful, staying mindful is a way that you help give yourself purpose and meaning that your professor brain will thank you for. And remember, you've chosen to do this, and we shouldn't take that point lightly. Many people have no say in the suffering that they have to endure on a daily basis, but you do. You haven't just chosen for it, you've paid to do this. So honor this pledge that you've made to yourself to put yourself in some adversity, force yourself to suffer, and this is why long distance events, especially Ironman, can be life-changing. You come out as a different person. You've redrawn a line in the sand over what your body can do, and your head is behind you. So the race is over. You might still be feeling a bit sore, but you want to feel elated. You ought to feel over the moon, finally this goal of finishing an Ironman you've been able to accomplish. But you don't. There's something inside of you that feels a bit down, and you sometimes feel guilty for that. It's perfectly normal. And it's all to do with that chemical called dopamine. Dopamine, remember, is the anticipation of the reward. The spike we get in thinking about it is far greater than the actual reward of doing it. This is why many things in life that should be a big deal for us feel a little bit of a letdown. After graduations, big promotions, it's always the same brain chemistry that's driving it. So the best thing that you can do is immediately after things over is find something else to look forward to. And we say register for another event immediately. Always have one event in the hopper after the one that you're about to do. This is one way that we can help manage our dopamine's response to feeling good and keeping on that emotional high after an event. So after the event, when your dopamine is starting to crash in the 7 to 10 days afterwards, what can you do? Make sure there are things in those few days after an event that you can look forward to. Dinner out with friends, even a mini vacation, a weekend away, something that is that comes fairly quickly after the event itself to help you still feeling good.